The bus was packed. It was an Indian bus, and the journey was overnight. This is before there were direct flights to Bodh Gaya. This was before USB, before Apple AirPlay. So there was an audio cassette player in that Indian bus. The song, which just kept playing again and again on repeat, was the language was Hindi, and the lyrics were one thing which keeps coming to my mind and which is kind of like drilled into me is इसने ये किया उसने वो किया इसलिए मैं दुखी हूँ. Now, I'm sure most of us Bhutanese speak Hindi, but for those who do not, what the song literally translates to is इसने ये किया means he did this, इसने वो किया means he did that, इसलिए मैं दुखी हूँ means and that's why I am sad. Hi, my name is Karma Dendrup and it's another Wednesday, so that means it's hashtag my take time. We've reached the alphabet V. And what I have chosen to speak about with regard to the alphabet V is victim. You could call it, all of us use the victim card, or especially in this day and age with woke culture, now there is an anti-woke culture as well. So I thought it apt that I talk about what it means for me to be a victim, or my idea and concepts about victimhood. The song that I shared earlier about इसने ये किया उसने वो किया इसलिए मैं दुखी हूँ, it's very simple to understand. It's like saying that he did this, he did that, and that's why I am sad. And I think that's what all of us do in this day and age. And the fact that it's a Buddhist doha, a gurma, kind of like a song of realization, or a bhajan in India, they would call it a bhajan, I think. I guess the fact that this song still exists is the fact that it's been going on for ages. Now it's more enhanced because of social media. And I find it especially helpful, almost like a pit instruction for me to navigate through the day, because we look at things not going right and most often we are blaming either our parents, maybe we are blaming the government, maybe we are blaming our spouse, our children, our friends, and it doesn't really help. I wouldn't be talking about this and making this video if it helped and if it worked for the better. They attribute this quote to Nelson Mandela, but it sounds very similar to what the Buddha had shared. I heard it in a podcast of Oprah Winfrey, where she quoted Nelson Mandela saying that wishing harm upon someone is like drinking poison and hoping that the other person will die. And I think it's self-explanatory. I don't need to explain what that means. And the reason why I find it comparable to what the Buddha had shared is Buddha shares this story about, it happens many times in his biography, but it happens most often when in relation to Devdatta. I think in Cheke or in Dzongkha we know him as Hejin, who was the Buddha's cousin, who forever harbored a grudge against the Buddha and made countless, I think maybe 3 major attempts to assassinate the Buddha. And in one such incident, after the Buddha attained enlightenment, he goes back to Kapilavastu, to his father's kingdom, capital, and there, as he's leaving, he meets Devdat Hejin. And there, I don't remember the details of the conversation, but the conversation concludes with the Buddha sharing with him that bearing a grudge on someone is like carrying hot coals and waiting for an opportunity to hurt that other person. And I think, just like how I started by saying that, इसने ये किया, इसने वो किया, इसलिए मैं दुखी हूँ. In my own life as well, I am guilty of blaming teachers, parents, family members, my spouse, maybe my children also from time to time about this, my state of mind or where I am at in life. But like I was sharing earlier, it never really resolves anything. It only creates more disharmony. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy in a bad way that doesn't solve anything and only creates more trouble. And while it's so nice that there is a woke culture in the world, it's sadly heading in the direction of all of us, all of the woke people coming together and being victims together. It could be so much more. It could be a movement for positive change. And interestingly now, while there is woke culture, there's an anti-woke culture as well. So yeah, not anything profound. Just wanted to share that there is more to gain from waking up in some sense and not putting the blame on somebody else and accepting responsibility. And as Buddhist, at the end of the day, the Buddha around the end of his life shared that, Rani Rangi Gun, you are your own refuge and your own savior. So on that cue and on that note, I wish all of you a great day and a fulfilling remainder of the week, and I'll catch you again next week with the alphabet W. I'm kind of excited about what I want to share with regard to W. There are two ideas and concepts, but I think I already know what I will be talking about. And thank you so much for all the love and support that all of you have shown me. This week in particular has been overwhelming. All the followers that have started to follow me, and I've shared with individually most of you, but in case I've missed out because of my eyesight, any of your comments, I am very grateful. And the thought that I get every time I get a comment or a follow is I feel humbled, and then I feel inspired to keep doing this. So thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.